You might recall the story of Andrew Thorburn, the businessman who was appointed CEO of the Essendon AFL Footy Club earlier this month, only to be virtually sacked 24 hours later for being a member of a particular Christian church. The reason for the sacking was never very clear, only that Premier Dan Andrews was offended by comments made by a pastor at the church before Thorburn even joined the congregation. Such is the cult of Dan Andrews that his indignation quickly led to Essendon saying Thorburn's appointment was no longer tenable. My next guest, Lee Jones, had a similar experience 6 years ago, which also cost him his job. It drove him eventually to politics, and he's now running for the state's upper house for the Family First Party, and he joins me now. Lee Jones, welcome to ADH TV.
Thank you, Fred. It's a pleasure to be here.
First, can you recall for us the circumstances that led you to losing your job 6 years ago?
Look, I can't talk in a lot of detail because the circumstances are protected under a deed of covenant. And I must say I have no ill will towards the organisation, the people that did that. But in simple terms, there was an issue that arose within the organisation, and it seemed that the values that I held in my faith were not compatible with the organisation's preferences, and so my time there came to an end.
Can you elaborate a little bit though? I mean, what sort of values were in question at the time? The issue was around the content of the Safe Schools program. I was challenged around my views on the content of that program. Now, of course, the Safe Schools program was designed as originally was supposed to have had the intent of being an anti-bullying program, and it's true to say that I have a strong desire that no one gets bullied. I remember in my high school days, I went to an all-boys grammar school back in the UK, and I was the bullying target of the alpha male in the school, the captain of the rugby team. And my life in that school was pretty unpleasant for a long period of time. I don't want to see anyone bullied, and don't want to see anyone going through that kind of experience. But the reality is that the Safe Schools program teaches content that goes way beyond concepts of bullying and speaks to gender and sexual ideologies which are not consistent with my faith. And it's those components of the program that I disagree with and wouldn't. The phrase I used was, I didn't want my children to be taught those things, and that was the sunset of it. And without going into too much detail, why did you leave? Were you sacked, or did you choose to leave? Did it become untenable or uncomfortable? What happened?
My employment was terminated.